Sublime magnificence.
Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where is that, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, and as usual, I am joined by my co-host and runner-mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Dialector himself, Bill Smith.
Omari!
Yo, 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 yo.
How has it been another year already?
Right. That's crazy.
My God. This is the first year, unfortunately, that we will be finishing without 52 episodes for the 52 weeks in the year, because we both, for the first time, got kind of busy this year, where usually it's just one of us that's busy. So we were a little shorter on the video wise, but still time wise, day wise, week wise, we are back at another fucking year of doing this, another anniversary.
And you know what that means. You know what that means. It means
what does that mean?
Time for the awards, the TGHS awards. We do them every year. This be the fourth annual. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your horse. Ladies and gentlemen, your horse for the 2026 Feo Grande. This guy hasn't seen awards. Feo Grande.
Sorry, you said horse, so I laughed.
Well, you are the horse of the episode.
Yes. Hi. Yes. Mr. Me. That's who I am. I was going to say Ed, but that's not my name. Anyway, yes, it's awards time, and we've got some awards for you here. So,
it's not my name.
So, we normally start this award ceremony with a category that, here, this being our fourth annual one, we normally started with a category where we talk about our best guest episode. But it seems in all our busyness this year and the busyness...
It's not our fault. This isn't our fault. This is one person's fault. Super Jazz. I'm calling you out at the beginning of the video. You're the reason why we don't have a best guest selection. You could have auto won this one. You should have been a guest.
You could have.
You're terrible at that, sir. So, are we going to move on to one of our new categories?
Yes, I was going to try to segue into it like, yes, due to all the busyness, we may have forgot to do a guest episode, or that we may have been forgotten about our guests. So we're going to one of our new categories.
No, Omari, I need to talk about jazz. I need to talk about how Super Jazz is a jabroni.
I forgot that. Much like our most forgettable movie category.
Oh, I thought you were doing the other one. I was waiting for you to do the segue of like, boy, Bill, you sure are being a hater to Super Jazz here today.
That would have been so smart. I was, like I said, I was on the check one thing. I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. But yes, we can do the hater. Left. No. Nah, we'll do it live. We'll do the hater award. Biggest hater of the year. After all.
Hater of the year. It's the hater of the year. He's the hater of the year. He may talk shit. He may spite you. He may fuck your grandma. He's the hater of the year.
Thank you. Range of things. Yes, hater of the year. So, there's been a lot of haters in the movies that we've watched.
We've watched a lot of haters over the year.
Yeah. I'll go with a couple of my
But
Honorable
yeah,
mentions.
throw out some of your nominations.
I know.
Right. So if you're watching this for the first time, there's two versions of this show. There's two formats that we do. There's Omari who does it correctly, who selects his winner and mentions his honorable mentions, and then me who mentions my nominees and selects my winner live in front of you.
I may mix in a little of that this year myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that said, the person that my first honorable mention is the guy that made me think of this category, and that is Mission Impossible 2, the Minion dude. I don't remember his name, but that motherfucker was just always like, you. What? He's dating her? Whatever the fuck it was. Uh, one of your least favorite characters of the year, Bakugo from My Hero Academia, is also a nominee for me. But I had to go with Mr. 1A himself. I mean, he's been a hater for almost 100 years at this point, whether it's comics or a movie. He does not like that alien, okay? And like I said, 1A, people will shit on that moment. I don't care. I loved it. That was the impassioned speech that man gave. I felt the hate. Lex Luthor, newest Superman. I think that's who I had to pick for my hater. Water.
Can I admit to you right now in this moment that I typed as my nominee Lex Luger?
Is that was the wrestler name, right?
Yeah.
Luger?
Yeah. Yeah, for my nominees for Hater of the Year, I have Lex Luthor, I have Bakugo from My Hero Academia, I have Pancake Man.
Oh, that's a good point.
Pancake Man is kind of a hater. Pancake Man is kind of a hater.
He hated a lot.
And then I also have Guima from K-pop Demon Hunters, the giant purpley flame guy.
That's a good
kind of just a hater.
He does not like them singers that much.
But yes, just like you said, this one was a predetermined. As I was typing these out, he was the first one I typed. I knew no matter what nominee I added after, you look up hater in the dictionary and there is an image of the animated adventures of Superman's Lex Luthor sitting right there. So yeah.
Like Lex Luthor had to take it. And like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed that performance of the guy. Just, he shot a man just for feeding him food once. So that was the first one.
Yeah, so that's a double win there. A double a gold star victory. Lex Luthor, Hater of the Year 2026. You want to do another new one, or you want to go back to some of our standards?
Well, you go ahead. You go with the next category.
Let's do our most standout moment.
All right.
I'm gonna give you my nominees here. I have Flag Raise / Country saved by the Good Hero group in Superman 2025.
Okay.
I have the Philip Seymour Hoffman villain monologue. What's your name?
What's her name? Where is she? Where is it? Where's the device?
I'm gonna kill her. Like, yeah, it's chills.
Yes.
And then I have Selma Hayek's dance from Dusk Till Dawn. The zoom in. There was a
Did it zoom in?
It was a small one, but
that'll be fun to see, like in the playback.
Okay. Before I pick, give me your honorable mentions.
Personally, those are all good ones. I had the opening for that in my 3, with the crying Tom Cruise, Philip Seymour Hoffman delivery, like the hostage situation thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that movie opened, I still can visualize it, and I've only seen the movie once. I was the
Yeah.
guy that hadn't seen this year when it came to Mission Impossible
Tom's really
movies.
good in that one, in that
Tom's
scene.
good too. Like that whole
No, no, no.
scene.
Yeah, the just screaming for his life. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. You mentioned the what you call it, the Selma Selma Hayek dance. Like you saw my reaction when you said that, so I'm like, yep, that's a good one. Um, Various stunts and stuff. I didn't have a lot of crazy standout moments, but primarily because when I think that scene pops to the forefront of my head. We probably saw a lot of things, and like you listed some good points, like the end of what you call it, Superman. Um, oh, I just remembered something for another category, but yeah, so that. Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Sorry.
what was your winner?
I'm going MI3 opening for me
The
because
MI3 opening.
the memory overpowers my thought process right now for other stuff.
You know, for the
Actually, no. I know my most standout moment.
what's that?
Me. Me.
That's a worthy standout moment, sir. That
Me
is a
being on
worthy
the
standout
screen.
moment.
And Pancake Man.
That's great. No, absolutely, absolutely. That's a standout moment. For me, at risk of of exposing my little horny boy self, my standout moment of the year is Selma Hayek's Dance in Dust Till Dawn.
Hey, we're both exposed. You saw my reaction. The camera made sure you saw my reaction.
For another new category, Omari,
All right.
we watched that. This is the award of the forgotten films.
Yes.
You scroll back through the catalog of the year and you go, we talked about that?
Yeah.
I don't remember us covering that.
Yeah.
When did we do that?
Definitely had one of those moments going over this reward. So when you suggested the category, I'm like, that sounds perfect for me. And I don't even have a lot of honorable mentions for you.
My nominees are Fantastic Four First Steps.
Okay.
Like I remembered I had watched it. The movie itself is a little forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that we covered it in general, as opposed to me just going and see it in the theaters randomly. Killer Bean Forever. Gun to my head without looking at this list. I don't think I would have ever told you that we covered Killer Bean Forever as one of the movies in our thing. The Naked Gun 2025. Again, like Fantastic Four, kind of just ended up being a little bit of a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
And I remembered that I had watched it, didn't necessarily remember that I watched it for this, that we had covered it. My winner, who still to this day, I don't remember at all. And when this is over, when I wake up tomorrow, I might put on the episode just to find out what I said about this film, because I scrolled through it and still don't remember it. Riccio?
Yeah. It's like a martial arts 80s movie. Dude punches a wall at the end, goes, "You are all free now." Yeah.
I have a concussion.
Gotcha. That's fair. Um, the URL for people who understand the type of paraphernalia I'm wearing right now. Um, Probably understand why I remembered the movie Riccio because of the whole "you are all free now" thing being used at the end of a lot of tournament
At the end of
shirts.
the at the end of the CEO shows. I remember that
At the
story.
end of a lot
I
of
remember
shirts,
that
yeah,
story, good sir.
yes. Um, that said, my most forgettable thing, I didn't have a lot of nominees for it, although I will throw in the Halloween short as a nominee.
Yeah.
But for me, it's probably going to piss a lot of people off. But but I believe Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, etc. Heat.
Heat.
I did not remember that we watched it.
It's
I
not
saw it.
even that. Oh, yeah, it is that long ago. It's right after the Mission Impossibles, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't remember that we watched it. When it came to try to remember, I couldn't believe that we watched it because I'm like, that's a classic. That is one of the films out there,
It's like
and
3 hours
I'm
and
like,
15 minutes. Like it's as
yeah,
far as like taking up time in your life,
and
it's
I
one of
was
the
like,
larger
and
ones
I'm
that we
like,
cover.
what happened in Heat? What was the plot of that movie? And then I tried to look it up while we were prepping to record, and I still was like, I don't remember any of this.
Ricky O, that's the same. I was scrolling through it and I was like, we watched this? It seems like this would be something I would be into. I don't. What? Omari suggested this?
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah, it's just like martial arts film. Normally, that's my lane.
also true, true. But yeah, so that for me it was Heat. I
All right,
I had
all right.
forgotten that we watched it, so it made sense to
So
me.
we've got for we watched that. We have Heat and Riccio.
Yes. Yes,
Uh,
sir. Up
most
next. Most
WTF moment.
WTF moment.
Do you have some
So
honorable mentions you want to throw around?
the Halloween short, what the fuck am I watching? I understand that this is from the 1800s or
Technically,
however
the
old
first
it
horror
was.
film
The
ever
first
made
horror film
is
ever
what
made.
is what scholars would tell you.
Yes, which, great piece of historical information on our channel.
Yeah.
You ever want
We
to catch
watched
that?
horror
We
films
watched along.
in October, and we watched the first one ever made. Now, like, how many people can say that?
Yeah, we had a good number of watch alongs this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and anytime I love to have a mind towards selecting some copyright freed content potentially, so that we can do that more often. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Cool. But so that was there. I'm sure there were plenty in the movie Jackass Forever because it's Jackass.
I tried to limit
Uh,
myself to only one Mission Impossible stunt. I don't know. I don't know if you.
fucking that man and his yeah, I think I put Mission Impossible stunts as honorable mentions for standout moments just in general.
Yeah.
But as far as like what the fuck, Tom, what are you doing? It would either have to be the jumping across the Burj Khalifa in that one scene. Because
Yeah.
that was dumb. Or the shit
Yeah.
on the plane. Or
And the
even
very
the fucking
last one,
underwater.
the
Because that was
underwater one,
stupid
where he had
too.
to hold his breath for like for an insane amount of
Tom
time.
Cruise.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise.
my
What the
most
fuck, Tom Cruise?
my most WTF moments are this one might be recency biased,
Okay.
but when Sonya Blade's powers make a giant hole in that woman's chest. And like that's a WTF moment for me. Every time it happens, I've only seen it twice now. But each time I'm like, oh fuck, Sonya's powers do that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, she had always had the ring fireball, like in MK3 or something like that, with the
Right.
purple rings going forward. So them putting it in the movie and making it do that, I'm not sure she had it as a fatality at one point either, which may have also been the
Right. Oh, I
case.
mean, but
So
you
for
did
me, it was less of a WTF for me. It was just more
like
cool,
the
but I get it for
actual
you.
gory whole of it though.
No, like I said,
Like
I
Mortal
get it for
Kombat
you.
or I guess there's probably a fatality version of
That's
it.
what I'm saying. There probably was a fatality at one
Oh,
point
because
for
I'm just
me.
thinking of like the down forward A
Yeah,
one. That's
yeah,
that's
and then
like
just
an
like
energy burst or whatever. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just like leaving a perfectly seared hole in that woman's chest, and then the fall and the camera view through the hole. It WTFs me every time. Um,
yeah.
Gladys's death moment in Weapons.
Oh,
Um,
that's what I was gonna say. Weapons. The motherfucker. Yeah,
uh,
Gladys's death. Dude coming across to the gas station and everything involving him and that, because I think he was the first one that we saw get warpified in real time. And so that, I think that's gonna be my winner. The fucking gas
uh,
station, Wong at the gas station. I don't remember his
yeah,
name in the movie.
the Quaalude scene from Wolf of Wall Street, also on my WTF
That's
moments. It's
fair.
a very I was like that's a very WTF movie. I've got to pick a moment from that film.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Um,
That's a good one.
uh, uh, Gladys's death would do it. I feel like any other year. I mean, it's a giant pack of 10
The
year olds
kids. Oh my god.
literally
Yes.
ripping her to pieces after they run through like three different houses,
That.
and they're literally just like jumping through glass and
Yeah.
chasing after her, screaming and doing the
They
Naruto
tore
run.
her to death.
Um, and then they get a hold of her finally, and they just literally rip her to pieces.
By the way,
Um,
people, what if we're watching?
uh, 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 so any other year that would win, but like you mentioned, I had already kind of pre-given mine to, in general, brackets, stunts,
Tom
Mission
Cruise.
Impossible. I specifically chose as my one to win the award, I guess. But metaphorically, it is accepting on behalf of.
Mhm.
The one I chose is the bike off of the cliff into the hang
Into the
glide,
train.
and landing on the train thing. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
There were so many good ones.
Not to say that anything else wasn't insane.
Yeah,
All of it
no,
is insane. That's just the one I chose.
there were so many good ones when it came to that. I think I am, just for the sake of differentiateness, I'm gonna say the Gladys one because yeah, thinking about that and just the idea of them showing that on screen, like what the holy yeah, like that was more horrifying than the concept of the movie itself. It was just that part.
Yeah.
So that would be WTF moment. So we talked
What
about
else?
some good stuff. What was disappointing to you? The most disappointing thing this
You know,
year?
Omari, I found myself being challenged a little bit on being negative this year. And I think that's probably because Jazz hasn't come by. Um
We might have to change the hater of the year award.
um but I only have two here. I am going to give a nominee shout out to Killer Bean Forever.
I can see that.
I remembered
I remember the.
I remembered that was one of those of like it's not necessarily bad, but I see what you were going for, and I also see the potential of what it could be, kind of thing, even at a low budget.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna give a nominee to Killer Bean Forever, and then maybe teased it a little bit earlier. My winner this year is going to be Fantastic Four: First Steps. As I think about it, back one, I never fucking think about it. So I'm forced to think about it now. And yeah, and I only just kind of now tonight realized how utterly forgettable it was, and how it was just such a fine movie. And in the terms of the category of most disappointing, I'm not talking about the worst movie of the year.
Right.
I'm
You're just
talking
talking
about
about
the
expectations versus reality.
I definitely know, trying to put myself in pre going to the theaters and watching that film, I was pretty hyped on the expectations there. And I'd be interested in what I recorded immediately following watching the film the first time, and how because I imagine I was pretty positive about some things and maybe negative about others. I don't recall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so Fantastic Four is going to be my most disappointing this year.
Sky High.
Sky High should have been in my forgettable. I don't remember it that much.
Superhero School.
Right, right. I remember that it's superhero school, and it was kind of off the back of My Hero Academia.
Mm. It had some good actors in it, but the overall product was another one of those you could have done more with this. And having watched it when I was younger and remembering liking it, only to watch it older and be a little underwhelmed
Yeah.
by the suggesting of it. That's why I kind of did the let down, because I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of had this in my back pocket. I keep remembering I'm gonna kick it down the road to eventually watch that with Bill, because I remember we watched it when we were younger, or I thought I had brought it up early because I was like, oh, what about this? And so I had built some form of nostalgia had built up in my head, and that oversold it to me on the rewatch
Yeah.
20 years later. So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
You're talking expectations versus reality.
Yes.
So how about the other side of the coin? What in 2026 was your most surprising in a good way?
Uh Scammers. Sorry. The MI MI series gets some mention. Because yeah, I did not realize I would love those movies nearly as much as I ended up loving those movies. And that they would actually be good. I thought they would be turn your brain off, if you don't understand things, if you just want a bad movie and just to enjoy ooh, explosions. But no, they put in a lot of effort. We talked about the MI3 acting. Um, so Mission Impossible series, but I went with one we saw very recent. You could call it recency bias, sure. Street Fighter 94. That the most recent John Claude Street Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remembered. I think
Yeah.
I covered it. I think I covered it in the video. Uh, I had a very negative viewpoint of that movie over the years, and
Because of
to
the Street
also
Fighter diehardness of you.
yes, especially as I got older, but also it's one of those movies that gets bullied in the zeitgeist. It's an example people like to go to of a bad video game movie. You know what I mean? Especially when their big video game competitor at the time, Mortal Kombat, had its thing. And as someone who was a casual fan of both as I was younger, based on compared to now, I always was like, in Mortal Kombat, video game movie, unlike that bullshit Street Fighter movie that they didn't even try, blah, blah, blah. But ironically enough, playing more Street Fighter as I got older helped me understand some of the decisions, some, definitely not all, but some of the decisions they made in that movie to try to get it to be the way it was. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid, but I see why you went there, type thing. And so that was cool. So that was surprising in a good way. I had a good time. It wasn't hard to get through or anything like that. The speeches, the standout scenes that everyone knows, kick Bison's ass so hard. For me it was Tuesday, etc. All good stuff for me. So I'm going with Street Fighter 94 for my most surprising, in a good way. Mission Impossible probably would have just, as a series, probably would have just taken it for me because that was a fantastic ride.
Yeah,
but
it was fun. It was really fun doing that one. It's like always. Oh, is he about to say something serious? Oh no, the camera just did that right. Mine. Let's see. My most surprising, in a good way. I have Thunderbolts. Was very pleasantly surprised on
That was a
the
pleasant
reverse
surprise.
end of Fantastic Four. I was kind of anticipating Thunderbolts to be meh, and I ended up really liking like the themes of depression and like inner turmoil and shit with the main villain and all of that kind of stuff. I kind of really enjoyed, and yeah. I'm giving that in my nominee category. Um, let's see. Also nominee this year, Weapons. Not really a horror guy, but I do appreciate the ones that transcend the genre in some way or another, and Weapons felt like it was doing that and hit some notes that I really loved, and it was a really enjoyable watching experience. I've watched it another time since then, also had a very good time. um, yeah, most surprising in a good way, always, because with a horror film I'm always coming in with one foot out the door if I'm honest.
Hey, we're not really a horror channel.
Most surprising in a good way, my winner this year is going to be a film that I'm sure I knew was going to be fine. Like, in no way did I think it was going to be bad. There is a world where it was made for children. There's a world where it's too cutesy. There's a world where it's too for girls. There's a world where it's too for that specific fandom.
Shout out to that. That could be a nominee for me too.
But yeah, my winner of most surprising in a good way is going to go to Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters, that we watched on this channel, and yeah, I became low-key obsessed with for 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Low-key
indeed.
Was really into it. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the story of the folks who made it, and yeah, it was a really good time. So that one's winning my most surprising in a good way.
Nice. All right. So, what movie would you say? I guess before we get to that,
Hold
I'll
on.
do.
Wait, do you hear that?
Maybe.
I think somebody's knocking. Somebody's knocking at the door.
Who's not
Oh, I think it's Timothy.
Brainwaves. Brainwaves. That's exactly what I was like. You know what? Before we do that, then you're like, wait, knock knock. Like, yes, that's exactly where I was going. Yes. The Himothy of the year, the Hemi Neutron, the Hemi Turner, the Hemi whatever you want to have it. This.
Capital H, capital I, capital M, him? Who is the him of the year?
Didn't we watch Ballerina? The John Wick spinoff?
We absolutely watched Ballerina.
Was that this year?
Yeah, that was post mission, right?
Yeah, I don't think that made it on the playlist. Sorry.
I don't think it was uploaded. We talked through the entire calendar year. The next video that I was gonna say would have been our awards video, unless Ballerina was after that one.
Oh shit! So look out for that. See if I can find that footage.
Ballerina could have maybe been a him.
Because I was gonna say or her parentheses, but then I'm like, wait, we have not mentioned that. Sorry, getting too much behind the curtain. Bottom line is him or her of the year. Honorable mention, I guess, to the Ballerina, main character of that. I got Ricky O himself, which I got Killer Bean as a thing because that motherfucker was just doing stuff. And then I have my winner. If you couldn't tell, by the way, I keep glazing this series throughout our current or throughout this awards show. I got Ethan Hunt.
My nominees are going to be El Mariachi, Antonio Banderas' character from Desperado.
That's a good one.
Wild card here, unexpected, random choice. Stone Cold Steve Austin, represented through the 2001 Royal Rumble. Absolutely a him. Absolutely a him. Without question, a him.
The wrestling thing went right over my head, but no, you are not incorrect at all.
Stone Cold's movie wasn't this year, was it?
The Condemned? No,
that was a while ago. But there is only one hymn that we have covered this year, if you want to talk about hymns, and we covered him 7 times. His name is Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, that motherfucker's the truth. I get it now. You give him the job. He will always get that done. It'll always come down to 1 second on the clock. The nation will never fully appreciate him longer than a week. And he doesn't care because he chooses to accept the mission. Mm-hmm. And he gets it done.
Goodness.
I had to go with Ethan.
Yep.
All right. So
where you want to go next, boss?
We'll go to the recommendeds we'll go to the recommendeds because after that there's just best and worst categories left, like over, you know what I mean. Yeah. So one of our categories we have every year. What movie would you most recommend to your friends out of the movies we watched this year? I'm sure my friends have all
How do you
seen.
treat this movie? How do you treat this question? I treat this question as like, what's the party movie?
Party movie.
Like I've been a person who's done party movies a lot in my life. Like I'm having 4+ people over. I put a movie on very soft volume just as a thing to be there. If it's like 2 or 3 people, then I don't put a movie on necessarily unless I've invited them over for a movie night. Yeah. Because then it's almost too dominating of a presence. And then you're making the night of hanging out a movie night. If you wanted to do that, that's fine.
I as someone who's gone not to your things, but to other get-togethers, expecting to hang out, and then someone goes, "Let's throw on a movie," and me being like, "That's not why I came over here." I understand that sentiment.
Yeah. No, that's the moment for light music, and to hopefully engage and. Chairs that face each other. Yeah. To hopefully engage conversation, like maybe a board game if you can't have conversation without activity. in an ideal scenario, I think. But anyway, a party movie is like 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 people at your house, and you just have your TV on and playing something.
Yeah.
Kind of like maybe it's in the ridiculous nature, maybe it's in the nostalgia nature. It can range a lot.
I'm in a similar boat. Not necessarily party movies, but I do have three. The three that I have listed here could all go through that. But one I just would suggest to my friends if they hadn't watched it already. If you can't tell enough, I'm gonna suggest Mission Impossible to anybody that will listen.
See, that's the only reason why I think of this category as like a party movie. Otherwise, it's kind of the same thing as like best movie or any of the other.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, you just throw on a Mission Impossible movie in the background. Y'all can talk about whatever, and then just, holy shit, did you see what he just did? Oh my god. Riccio, I've actually watched at a get together like that. And that's kind of what reminded me of it to do it on this show. So Riccio, I had that mentioned. I mentioned Killer.
If I would have seen Riccio, I would imagine that would have been pretty good.
And then stuff for people to necessarily watch on their own time or whatever. I in the past would have suggested. Well, I guess I would still suggest Killer Bean just because the novelty of it, but not necessarily like a party movie. Just like a, hey, check this out. Look at this YouTube video or YouTube movie from 2010 or whatever the hell it came out with these coffee beans shooting each other and just doing cool stunts. But fuck it. I'm gonna say we had a really good time watching Riccio as a group. So I'm gonna go ahead and for now I'm gonna go ahead and say Riccio, but what are your suggestions and topics and stuff?
I only put down one here, and it was the Halloween short. The silent film. In my I could use that a lot in the fall. That would be a great thing to just put on repeat. It's already silent. I can also add music to it. It's kind of the perfect thing for the way I made the question into. But if I remembered Riccio at all, I know I totally would agree with you that is definitely a
movie to recommend to friends
like a party movie kind of thing. Yes. Now I'm scrolling mad. I'm just scrolling wild in the not this year ones. I was like, oh, Moulin Rouge would be one. Wait, Moulin Rouge wasn't this year, was it?
No, that was last year. But yeah, I'm gonna go Riccio.
Yeah, I don't know if we covered a ton of things that I necessarily would consider a party movie. A lot of people would call Jackass or Jackass Forever, but that's just got you. You need to know the taste levels of everyone in the room. Like, you need to be sure that that's going to be something they're going to be okay with.
Like, I could recommend...
you almost have to do a consent check before putting on Jackass.
Yeah, like, I could recommend Jackass to my friends because I have a lot of friends that are into those kind of things, you know, the genre that involves idiots with cameras and the like. So I could see that, but nah, I'm picking what I picked. When it comes to party movie setting, because like you said, I think it'll be a lot more better to have one.
A lot more better.
Yep, a lot more better. You heard me. That's the camera.
I also think I would give an honorable mention to just straight up episode roll of My Hero. Is not a bad. Could we formally for in perpetuity change this to like party movie?
Party movie, yeah, that's fine. Party movie. All right, I have no problem doing that. So we may need to rename the next one, but actually, the timing of recording of this is kind of funny because Mother's Day is coming up soon, or has already happened by the time this airs. What movie that we watched this year do you recommend to your mother?
I like this category. I always do. It's a way of it's just a way of me it's just
Mhm.
giving me a moment to think about like what movie would me and mom most enjoy? Because the honest answer to this question is most of them. Like my mom was a movie watcher. That's partly why I'm a movie watcher is because she was a movie watcher. She watched a lot of shit. Uh, um, so she watched a lot of this, but a number one with a bullet, I don't even have to think about it. There's no hesitation. It's Superman. Yeah, Superman was one of our things. So yeah, like a new Superman would have absolutely, we would have been all about it.
Yeah. So I got Sinners as a realistic, I think my mom would really be into the movie itself, given the subject matter. Not necessarily the vampire part,
Do
but
you
the
know if they? Do you
subtext.
know if she's watched it yet? I feel like you suggested it quite a while ago.
I don't know.
You would have been in town. You guys didn't talk about Sinners, Oscars coming up, and
No,
all of
we
that.
talked about like being Eddie and the other thing that we watched out here. So being Eddie, I literally watched that with my mom. The Eddie Murphy thing, because she's been really supportive of my dream to be an entertainer and an actor. Which is why, especially when she called me, and I know she's even less about the genre of horror than I am. But she called me and told me she was gonna watch it, so I don't have to. But I
Do
clearly
you think?
suggested it to her. Yeah, you're doing it too. It's going in and out.
Oh yeah, I turned it on. Do you think? Do you think she watches
This? No.
or any of your YouTube content? Is she aware that the YouTube channel exists?
She's aware the channel exists. Yep. She may not know the channel's name. Um, she knows we do a show every week because I'm like, yeah, I stay in contact with Bill, and she knows about whatever we want. Doesn't know where to find them
Whenever we want, shout out.
whenever we want. Yep, freedom. But
Officially change that name.
what she did call me and tell me she was gonna watch, which is also gonna be my winner because I'm egotistical. If you couldn't tell, Pancake Man.
Of course. What did she think about Pancake Man?
I forgot to ask her on the phone because she told me the other day, like earlier this week, last week after I went to the dentist, she's like, "I'm watching Pancake Man tonight
Oh,
on Amazon Prime," and I know that's not that type of movie. To my knowledge, is not her type of movie.
oh yeah.
So that's why I was saying I normally wouldn't suggest it. I would suggest like Sinners, but
Yeah, I wonder
because
if it
I'm
would
in
be
it and I
easier
know
for-
she would want to see me on screen.
Yeah, I wonder if it would just be easier for her if you would have just texted her like a 5 minutes before you show up on screen time
I
code.
would have loved to do that. Again, she told me she was gonna go
Right.
watch it on Amazon Prime. But yeah, Pancake Man. I literally typed in this in my like document here, Pancake Man LOL.
That's
But no.
weird. Oh man, I wish I could have been in a fly on the room. My baby.
Oh yeah, and the guy in the movie.
Oh,
I
God.
think she knew that.
All right, Omari. We didn't have a ton of options again this year. I think maybe this happened the same thing last year. Our non-film content ended up being a lot of wrestling matches. Um,
A lot of
what was
wrestling
your
matches.
what was your best non-movie presentation?
So I didn't even think about the wrestling matches, and that's where they would normally go in this category. So we have more options in this category than I thought.
What did you
However,
think other than the wrestling matches?
I'm getting to it. Uh, we had a documentary.
What's
We had a
movie?
couple of what we got documentaries as movies.
Documentary is a movie unless it's a series.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Then
genre
my
of
best
movies.
non-movie is My Hero.
My Hero Academia was a TV show. Yeah, that was
My
a TV.
Hero Academia. I was gonna say the Sean documentary, but was my other honorable mention. But My Hero was gonna be my winner.
Yeah, I thought there was a brief moment where I also thought about the Sean doc because it was just like an on Peacock thing. But I felt like there was no commercial breaks in it. It was like an hour and 25 minutes, an hour and 35 minutes. So
There
that's a
were
movie.
commercial breaks in it.
There were commercial breaks. Oh, right. Well, I mean, yes, but also there are commercial breaks inside of a movie on Peacock. Only because we didn't have the premium. Like you know what I'm saying. There wasn't like a fade to black.
Yeah.
Here's
No,
a commercial
I know what
break.
you mean. But
So I completely forgot about My Hero being a TV show. My winner before that was the 2001 Royal Rumble, the one where Stone Cold wins. That edged out the John Cena AJ Styles match that we watched. But I'm also going to select My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
I also debated on whether or not the silent film
Could've
qualified into this category because it's just a short film. I think
like
that's a
11
different
minutes or
thing than a
something,
movie.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
we go. And then now we get to the four big uns. First, we do the actors. We want to go bad first or good first?
Well, like I mentioned, I had a tough time going negative, so there's not a lot to talk about on the negative side for me.
All right, let's get it out the way then. Worst
Okay.
actor or actress?
The entire voice cast of The Christmas Tree.
Oh, you are so right. Oh, you're so right. I had MI2 Chick and Folks in Sky High listed here, but I think that was from early in the year when I was still tracking as we watched. But the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree.
I think
The
much
camera
like,
knew I was going to repeat it. It zoomed in.
Yeah. I think much like I think it was maybe year one or year two. I think there was a year where I gave the worst acting performance to the entire cast of that strip club movie,
The Players Club.
The Players Club.
Sure.
Much like that when I'm giving my award to the entire cast of The Christmas Tree.
I gotta agree. That was oof. I can't think of a single good performance in that one. Oh no. No, I don't know if it was a good performance or if it fit the character so well. The fucking
It was not a good performance. It was not a good performance. It was just the only choice. It was the only choice made. It was the.
I
only
think she
thing
was
that
the only one
wasn't-
that was trying.
Yeah, it was the only thing that wasn't monotone. That's why it stood out to you.
Yeah, she's the
It
only
does not
one
mean that it
tried.
was good.
She's the only one that tried. But
do you have, who did you mention before I said those?
I said MI2 Chick and
Oh, right.
people from Sky. I had damn near the whole cast of Sky High.
Which, yeah, I don't remember Sky High enough.
Oh, I'm like, but no, Christmas Tree blows that out the water. Because Sky High at least has, I think his name's Kurt Russell. I'm gonna keep calling him Kurt Russell until I'm wrong, or proven wrong, rather.
Right, Kurt Russell. I don't really care for the Michael Angarano, the main
character.
boy, the main character. His brief window of I'm in teen movies or I'm in Disney Channel related products and things like that. He never hit it for me.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm going Christmas Tree. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
All right, best acting performances. Now, I got a lot to talk about here.
All right, let's hear it.
So first off, well, let me pause here so I can think about who's going to win. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go down the line, and the very last person is going to win. Yep. Yep. That's what's gonna happen. I have Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor in Superman 2025. Very good performance for me. I have one of the big main top contenders for this award, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Mission Impossible 3.
Gotcha. I'm with you on that. One of mine.
The other biggest contender for this award, who won't be going home with it today, from me at least, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners.
Entirely fair.
Then I also have as honorable mention nominees Florence Pugh in Thunderbolts. I absolutely love her portrayal of Elena. I think it's amazing. I think she's absolutely embodying a character in an incredible way, despite it just being a Marvel movie, you know. And then also Amy Madigan from Weapons.
Gladys.
And Gladys, yes. So those are all my my nominees. Amazing performances. Literally any one of them could walk away as a winner for me, and I would have been perfectly okay with it. Especially Philip Seymour Hoffman, Michael B. Jordan, and even Amy Madigan. But my winner of Best Acting Performance for things we watched in 2026, or do you want to go through your?
Go ahead.
Is Jesse Plemons from Begonia.
I'll give an honorable shout out to him as well. That was damn good role there with him in Begonia. I had Philip Seymour Hoffman. I actually shared a lot of that list with you. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I don't think I had Gladys. Florence Pugh, I can do. Lex Luthor, I thought, I said earlier, like, especially, I referenced the 1A thing. I love the delivery of that line. So I had him. Sorry, I know I had Michael B. Jordan. But now I am trying to think between him and Begonia Man. And I'm gonna go Michael.
As your winner this year?
Yes. It's a hard choice, but I'm gonna go Michael B. Jordan.
Well, you didn't even have Jesse Plemons listed. No offense to Jesse.
Yeah.
But you didn't think about him until I said it, which is fair.
Yeah.
So I would say the guy you pre-thought of first would be
more authentic and more ingenuous.
Well, it's just the one you remember, so that kind of helps his.
Yeah, I meant when I said authentic, I meant more of my authentic opinion.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, not to say that you agreeing with me is not your authentic opinion as well.
True.
But like
if I'm trying to make the decision,
right? If you're doing pros and cons, the fact that Michael came to mind and Jesse didn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like how the standout moment for me was the MI3 opening. It's like at the end of the day, I couldn't think of a lot of other ones until I remembered myself being in Pancake Man and then pick Pancake Man. So that leaves us with the big two. Not a lot of bad to talk about, so let's get it out the way. What was the worst movie of what we watched? I'm pretty sure I came to a conclusion as we were watching this.
Well,
or as
Omari,
we were talking about things.
I'm not going to choose the obvious one.
Okay.
Because
low-hanging fruit and all that.
Low-hanging fruit. Even
Kind of
with,
was the reason we watched it.
Yeah, it was the reason why I selected it. I mean the the performances have to get mentioned because they're so extremely egregious. But the I think the movie was always destined to be in this category, one way or the other, even if the performances had more energy to them. So I don't know the. Worst movie nominee, The Christmas Tree, but I'm not going to select it. The next two on the list are the two that I'm going to select, and I'm gonna do it, and it's the other nominee is going to be Naked Gun. 2025. In hindsight, I don't. It was so because here's the thing: we didn't watch a lot of bad movies.
Yeah.
And this year, and the movies that we did watch are kind of intentionally bad, or great in spite of being bad because of nostalgia and loves, a la Street Fighter '94.
Also true.
So when you're trying to select worst here, you're splitting hairs at a point, and so Naked Gun's going to be my nominee, and then my winner this year, which is something we disagreed with, and that's perfectly fine. Movies are allowed to be disagreed with, and I couldn't even at the time, and still to this day, couldn't accurately explain to you why this movie perturbed me so much during the watching of it. But we didn't have a great Christmas this year, Omari, in my opinion. Following the Christmas tree was Jingle Jangle.
I was scrolling through the list while you're talking I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned Jingle Jangle this whole
Because I've been saving it!
Because I remembered you were not a fan. A Jingle Jangle.
Yeah, and again, it's an unexplainable.
By the way, literally ended up watching that 2 weeks later with the family. That's what my sibling was like.
Did you mention that
you didn't
Bill
like
hated
it?
That wouldn't have been popular. I know. Thank you.
Nah, there are reasons that there are biases. There are biases toward the movie that the family has, and probably mentioning that I would open a conversation.
My wife friend doesn't like this movie.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to just open that conversation. Not that they think anything of you in that light, but still don't want to have the. Well, of course he wouldn't, because I don't want to start any of that.
Yeah, I loved what was it? Light It Up.
Yeah, the Let It Snow.
No,
Ludicrous.
No,
Slay came into town.
What was the Jada Pinkett one?
Set It Off.
Set It Off.
I thought you were talking about Christmas movies. No, Set It Off. Light It Up.
No, I was just trying to think of black movies. Yeah, I love. There's been lots of them that I've loved that you brought to the table.
Like I said, I just didn't want. I know this.
It was just something about Jingle Jangle I really didn't like. I don't know what it was.
And then we both pointed out the ending being stupid.
Yeah, and like.
What do you mean we're rich?
And it's like, well, it's kids' movies kind of things, and it's just like, well, yeah, but you're also putting Forrest Whitaker, and he's doing a deep, complex character, and you got Keegan-Michael Key, who I really enjoy, and this should be working, and I don't know why it's not working, and I don't want to just blame it on the two little kids, who I'm not connecting with on screen, because it's not there. They're just kids, so I'm not gonna be all negative about kids. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know what I don't know. I don't know why that movie rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe it was because my wife and I were just in a bad mood, and we both disliked it, so we compounded each other. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, Jingle Jangle. Sorry guys, you're getting my worst of the year.
That's fair enough.
In a year where I already said we didn't watch bad movies. So there's
Yeah.
that. Like there's not a
No, I
there's not
get
a
it.
Greatest Showman in the bunch.
Well, you might have compared the music at one point. The
I mean, it did really have Greatest Showman vibes. It really did. It really did. It's
For
not
me-
as bad as Greatest Showman, but it had vibes. You
Yeah.
know.
For me, it was between the Christmas tree. I had Sky High on there as well, but I think that was just more. I think I put that as my disappointing anyway.
I think if I would have remembered Sky High more, I would have. Because I pulled it up while we were talking a little while ago just to refresh with some
Yeah.
images, and yeah, I think I would have probably agreed.
Yeah, Sky High. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sky High. I have a I can agree with the negatives to Jingle Jangle, but there are things for it. There's a couple of more positive ticks on it for me personally. But I can agree. I can perfectly understand your reasoning, especially after we had an hour-long conversation about it when we reviewed it.
But I feel like in my memory, I never was able to express why I disliked it. I just kept saying that it just didn't rub me. It just rubbed me wrong. or
I
something
do
like
know
that.
the
Like,
music. I do know the music was forgettable. Though the main character, not the actress necessarily, but like the main character, the whimsiness nature of
Oh
her
right,
wasn't
like
the
just like
best.
how she was written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the ending.
the ending was so bad. The ending was so bad. The ending choice was so bad. That's true.
Yeah, so I understand you picking Jingle Jangle, and I don't. And like you said, we did kind of watch the Christmas tree with the belief that let's watch a bad movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going
Like
Sky
the
High.
podcast that I watch, or that I watch, the podcast that I've been listening to for a long time. How did this get made? They don't even really. They ended up covering it, but at first they didn't even really want to cover it because it's so bad it doesn't even almost qualify.
Yeah,
For,
and
like,
apparently I had
a
seen it on the
film.
nostalgia.
Like,
critic
I almost
a long
counted
time
it.
ago.
I almost counted it. I almost questioned if it, even though it would never be called the best of anything, I almost questioned if it belonged in the non-movie category, because it's just almost not, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's
Yeah, I do.
all right, Amari, best of the year.
Best of the year.
Let's go one for one.
Okay.
I've got Sinners. Do you got Sinners?
Yeah. I got Begonia up there.
I got Begonia. I got K-pop. You got K-pop Demon Hunters?
I didn't,
Okay.
but I got
Well,
weapons.
I've got
Talk
weapons.
to me about weapons. I think instead of K-pop, I had one battle. Like the Oscar movies were great.
We watched. I feel
we
like
watched the.
I
This
feel
is
like
one
we
of
had
our
a,
heaviest
like
Oscar
maybe,
seasons.
Yeah, we had like 2 or 3 extra weeks of Oscar season than we normally would, and so we had a lot of heavy hitters in this category.
And we kept it contemporary.
So I have Sinners, Begonia, K-pop Demon Hunters, Weapons, and then my fifth and final, my favorite, Mission Impossible that we covered, Mission Impossible 3.
So, fun fact. The movies I just listed to you came off the top of my head based off the past few months. Recency bias, if you will. What I had in my notes was typed in there when I first thought to have notes and track it throughout the year. It is a movie starring one Tom Cruise against one Philip Seymour Hoffman. And it's Mission Impossible 3.
pretty great. It's pretty great.
It's hard to pick it over these recent Oscar movies because, objectively and all of that.
It is, yes.
But realistically, which one of these am I going back to watch multiple times?
Exactly, Omari. It's a very tough thing. Sinners and Begonia, obviously, they're both nominated for Best Oscar Film this year. Obviously, they're great films. Weapons was a great film. Where there was
I'm sorry.
Kathleen.
I didn't want to cut you off too much.
Yeah,
I forgot this for disappointing and in there, and it might even take over Sky High. Marty Supreme.
Should we make the Marty Supreme Award? For
disappointing,
like biggest douche? Of the year, like the biggest douche character of the year.
I like that for future reference.
It's a completely different. They're completely different characters than the haters.
Yeah,
haters. We're gonna highlight the villains, and the douches we're gonna highlight villains and other types of villains and shit.
I like that, but as you were weapons.
Weapons, all of these great films, and then you have K-pop Demon Hunters that, like I told you earlier when I picked it as my most surprising in a good way, like took over 3 of my weeks. Jen and I watched it multiple. Like she came, I had already watched it without her, on a weekend, for like my second watch of it, and then. Like she comes home on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and was like walks to the door, puts down her bag, and is like, "So I've been listening to the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack all day." And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of did too. You want to watch it?" She's like, "Yeah." And so I watched it again. But yeah, it was very enjoyable. So I have to put it on here for that sake. And then you have Mission Impossible 3. Which has at times in my life lived on the top 10 most important movies of my life movies. I say most important because the document is titled the best movie, my top 10, like Bill's top 10 movies. Yeah. And they're my best movies. But in reality, it's because it's not me. It's not
the impact to you,
right? It's not me trying to say these are the objective top 10 movies that I've watched. These are the purely subjective, the only subjective ranking of 10 movies. So it's almost impossible for me to not select that one in this case.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel like I can't.
Oh.
You watched it this year, so I feel like you don't necessarily have to have any of those kind of previous biases.
No, that's entirely fair. I'm just saying, I'm going MI3 because, like I said, it's the one, as great as those other movies are, replay value for me is probably more in MI3 than a Sinners or a Begonia. I can see myself watching Sinners again, sure. I'm not going to be like, I would never watch that. Begonia, I can see myself watching maybe once more in my life. And that's not a knock on it. I just don't need to see it again. It's, but watching it that second time to look for clues now that you know the ending is nice. But outside of that.
Yeah, if we're talking rewatchability, I love my experience of watching Begonia. But if we're talking, if we're including rewatchability in the weighing of these films, then I'm gonna have to. Then Begonia's not winning there,
it's your thing. I was just like you said why you couldn't pick MI3.
I agree. I was realizing that I agree. Oh boy, I just bolded a title, which, aka in my document over here on my side of things behind the scenes, means that it won.
Yeah.
I just had it bold. and then unboldened it. Because I am selecting K-pop Demon Hunters for my best movie of 2026.
Had a hunch.
Sinners got unbolted. Sorry, Sinners.
I had a
This
hunch.
year's La La Land.
I had a hunch that it would be K-pop when you started factoring in rewatchability, and then you mentioned that you rewatched K-pop for like 3 weeks. So no, that's
And
fair.
Sinners also has very high rewatchability,
It
which
does.
is why it got bolded. Like I was about ready to kind of go Begonia. Like if I'm gonna tell you the singular rewatching, the singular watching experience, and like going like, yes, what a quality film. Oh, that is a fine film. They are expanding the art form of film. Yes, that is lovely. It'll probably be Begonia, honestly. But then when you start to factor in, just like I said, my top 10 is not just a top 10 of objective taste. It is a giant mixture of feelings.
Yes,
I'm going to pick K-pop Demon Hunters.
that's entirely fair. Yeah.
Awesome. K-pop Demon Hunters and Mission Impossible 3. Those are our best movies of this rewatching year.
Hey, we didn't pick the you guys should see movie this time. Where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick at the mask. Okay, I suggested it. It's hard for me to not do it, but I think I did
I'm picking
great
Children
the
of
year
Men.
before. Yeah. So that's that. Those are our movie. That is our rewards for this movie. What will 2026 to 2027? What will year 5 bring us? Will there be more guest episodes? Will people continue to be jazz bronies?
Ooh, Jazz Brony. We just invented a
Oh,
new word.
invention.
Here's
Like
what we're gonna do.
Thomas Edison.
Next week, we're gonna record a whatever we want instead of a this guy hasn't seen as an attack strategy.
I love this feature we found with these cameras. I will forever be amused by them. Yes, so check out whatever we do next week. You can also check out other stuff on the channel. We have plenty of it. Like we just mentioned, this is wrapping up year 4 of this show alone. The channel is over 10 years old. More content, more fun times. And yet, also check out, oh yeah, check out the Twitter and Twitch at Giotabi, Giotabi. Come on in, stop on by. Macho Man, Macho Bill, y'all got anything to say? Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Adios. This.